SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean, and I am hoping that you can hear me. I see that I have no one here, and I guess that's going to be good because until about 5 minutes ago, I had no idea that I would even be coming on. I had some issues in my new studio today with a hard drive that just caused me to be on tech support for a long time, and I just said, man, I just won't go. I won't go. I just won't go on. I'll do it next week, or I'll try to do what I did one time before, and that's come on, from my mobile unit, and just go on. And because I had planned not to go, I was like, okay, it's just a few more minutes because I had gotten caught up, and I was like, okay, I need to go in. And of course, I was ready for bed, but I had to get dressed real fast because I couldn't come in here in my pajamas. So I threw on a shirt, and just before I got on, I was like, that's that same shirt you had on last week. And you know how we are. We don't want to be seen in the same thing. But then here's the real deal. Nobody probably would have even noticed, but it's okay. But I think my content is going to be even more important. While I was waiting, I like I said, I had a pretty tough day with some technical issues and a few other things. But I was watching something on TV, and I've got a guest that's gonna come on with me right now. Are you there, guest?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How are you?
Okay. I'm okay, actually. I'm having one of those moments, and of all people, I'm so glad you were able to be there, with me for this because something happened where I really need my big sister right now, and
Okay.
I just kind of want to share it with you. And
Okay.
um, I was watching something. I've been training and working out, been putting my heart, mind, and soul into myself. I've been studying. I've been reading a lot. I've been working out. And by the way, I'm down 40 pounds. Can you imagine that? You can't see me right now, but I have been kicking my own behind really good. And
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty tough, but I feel good, and it's tough. It's blood, sweat, and tears, literally. But in this moment of, I guess, solitude that I'm kind of sort of putting myself through, I find myself in all kinds of places where I know is just perfect timing, and I believe in perfect timing. But just tonight, I was flipping around looking for something to watch, and I just saw this something on TV that was, again, just perfect timing. And I've heard of the Brian Banks story. I heard about it. I didn't know the details. I really didn't know who he was. But it's like if you hear one of those stories, you heard them all. Are you familiar with who he is?
No.
Okay, well, let me just give you a little information. He was a young guy at the time when he was 16. He was charged and accused of raping a girl, and he had a very promising football career. I mean, again, I don't want to say I didn't know, I just didn't know the full details because, as I said, when you hear one, you hear them all. But
Right.
with his story, I just was flipping around, and, just like some of the other moments, I've been ending up in some really cool places lately. That's just, I know, just God sent. But I was just so happened to, flip through, and I just saw this, and I had no idea what I was about to watch, and I clicked on it. And I'm telling you, I still have like 16 minutes to go before it's over and it's about to really break. But after it started, I'm still just right at about 300 pounds. And I was bench pressing at like 285 today. And I like to say that when I start talking about my strength. But, on that same side, I'm a really, really nice guy. And I don't like to admit that I cry sometime, but man, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you because you're my sister. I had tears in my eyes the whole time this movie was on. And again, I knew about this story, but I didn't know the full details. But it's just like, you hear one, you hear them all. I've heard many stories like it.
Right.
But I was led to this story tonight, and knowing that it's a true story and watching how, the actors and actresses in the movie are playing it out, I'm looking at it and it's just like really tugging at my heart because, again, I have to, talk about how big and strong I am. I'm still human, and, I have a heart. And when I see stuff like that, it just does something to me, and I know it has to do. I probably need to go get more therapy. I've been in therapy more times than anybody will ever know. But I still, search for this little missing piece inside of me, this little boy that's still looking for answers. And I'm okay. So if any of my viewers or listeners are, watching or will hear this, yes, I get emotional sometimes, and I promise I'm okay. And I will get help if I need it. And I still am in, several therapies. But, there's a part of me that just does not understand why people are nasty and mean. I think about the Green Mile. I think about, the Central Park Five and many, many, I mean, countless. I can just keep going of, how people, even if going back to slavery, I don't know why slavery has been on my mind, so much lately. But I think about how mean and cruel people are, and they stand flat-footed and look you right in the face and lie and cheat and just steal and just keep doing it. And you have to be tough. I'm on this live stream. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna delete it. Let's see, I've got 5 people already that are watching it, and probably more. You know, um, but it's really tough. And I'm sorry, y'all, I can't holler at you. I'm sure my faithfuls are watching, and I appreciate it. But this documentary slash movie just kind of, it touched me, and I'm gonna go back and finish watching it. And I'm not embarrassed to admit that, I several times I kind of just saw how nasty people are, and I'm looking at what this young boy, this now man, went through, and he looks like me. So my heart is kind of, heavy in thinking about, what he had to go through. And of course, like the Central Park Five, they were exonerated, if I'm even using the right word. And of course now, and the truth always comes out. And I always say to myself, it's like, I pray to God, it's like, God, why do people have to go through that? But then, there's a different path. Some people have to be, I guess, what they call martyrs, but martyrs actually die. I'm just saying, is examples of sacrificial lambs. People have to go through things. And I saw I've been watching some some movies, and there's this movie where, one of the lines in the movie is like, your weakness can be your greatest strength. It was whispered in the movie and echoed, you know. And sometimes when we go through stuff, and I like I said, I could sit here and like it could be sunrise in the morning. I can think of countless people who went through and suffered. But the Bible talks about getting beauty for ashes, and even Jesus, rose, but they kicked his butt on that cross, and he went through it, and it was not easy. And when we have to go through that stuff, it just kind of touches me. And this movie, I would, I'm not a movie critic or anything, but it's pretty cool. If you don't know the story, Brian Banks, again, he was a young athlete with an extremely promising career. And then because of, someone getting caught up, at the wrong place at the wrong time, the young girl who accused him of this heinous crime, heinous, I hope I'm using the right word, she stood by her word until she couldn't stand anymore. And it's just like anything else, when you're innocent of something, when people are, have pure hearts, you have to go through. And sometimes some of the nicest people, get kicked around the hardest. But of course, he was a nice kid. He's a good guy, based on, the stories. Because while I'm watching the movie, I'm looking at, comments from different people, who knew him. And, he was a good kid. And he spent 6 years in prison. And then another, I think, 3 or 4 years on extreme probation, where he couldn't get a job. It was just, just god awful how he was just dragged through, based on, you know, I want to be nice, jive, just some jive in it. It has to do with the system. And, part of the things that's, in my book, I talk about, the law and the truth, you know, and it just, another one of those things just kind of tugs at my heartstrings, the truth really not mattering, when you have to go through something called a system. And, they talk about it, in the movie. I've heard about it in, all the other documentaries, in so many cases where, you have to go through the system. And I totally respect that. I am one who believes in the law. But, it's amazing how, you know, people and circumstances and situations when, people are innocent, they have to go through so much. But, the good side of all of this and all of the little tears that I was, just kind of, I don't want to say I was tears, it's like, my something flew in my eye. But, the truth always comes out, and I just want it to be, an encourager, of anybody that's going through anything like that, even from your childhood, things that, we all suffer through, to just keep your head up and to never give up, because he never gave up. And you know what he had to do? He actually had to kind of sort of break the law in order to get himself, freed. And it was hard for him, because he didn't intend to, or didn't mean to break the law. But in order for him to be free, he had to go outside and do some things. It's almost like, when there's a fire going on, the firefighters will set a fire to offset the fire, to fight the fire. And, the Bible even says, iron sharpens iron. You need to put a little water inside of the pump to get a little water out. It's called priming it. So yeah, and then I think it was Abraham in the Bible. He told that lie and said that his wife was his sister, so that he could get by. And it wasn't that he was lying. He just had to get to where he could actually have his day, in court, or get to where he would not, get himself in trouble. But anyway, that was on my heart. It was on my mind. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I'm glad you were here for me. You and I, we've been through a lot. You've been there for me countless times when I needed to just cry, and I appreciate you for doing that. And I'm tough. I'm strong. Let me show you. Man, you should have seen me in the gym today. I actually, yeah, I'm kind of I'm getting better. So I promise you I'm okay. It's just, we have to continue to strengthen our mind, and guard our hearts and guard our eyes and our ear gates, because evil is always lurking. And if we're not careful, we can all be caught up in it. And we have to be careful. In the movie, Morgan Freeman played a prison counselor, and he told him, of course, what we already know and we've heard 1,000 times. The only thing we can control in life is how we respond to it. And that's going to be my message to myself and to my audience. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there. I've had some tough times with trying to get set up and settled. And, I like a really nice studio, but I haven't been able to get myself organized because I've been traveling so much and, haven't been able to get settled. But I've got some good content, and I've got some radio history and some audio production skills that I'm working on. It's just I'm just not in a place where I can really let it shine. But I'm staying faithful to showing up, on Wednesday evenings, and I'm here even now, even after the technical difficulties, and even with what I was, experiencing. I'm not gonna hold you, but I'm gonna let you have your say, and pretty much that's all I needed you to do. Like always, you don't always have to say anything or do anything or give me anything. What you usually do is just listen to me, and I really like the fact that if I need you to knuckle up, boy, you take your shoes off and it's time to go. I've always appreciate that about you, and I will always appreciate that about you. So I'm gonna let you have a little say so, and then I'm gonna go.
I just want to let you know that it's okay to all human.
Okay, hold on. You're breaking up. I don't know if you're on speaker, but you got to get close to the phone and stay there because I've been talking a lot. So, yeah, just try to start over again. Say it again.
I said, I just want you to know it's okay to cry. All that means is you're human and you have a heart. Whether you're male or female, boy, girl, young, old, it's okay to cry. When you truly have had the love or compassion in you, it will truly come out. So that's okay to cry. And you're not less of this by doing so. Don't let anybody tell you that.
Did you stop talking or did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. No, I know. And again, what you're telling me, I know it's always good to hear it. And again, I appreciate you being there, you know. And if I was there, this would be one of those days I'd kind of lean on your shoulder and just be there because I'm just having a moment. Because I'm tough and strong, and it's like, you know, I'm the kind of guy who I don't accept excuses. And I'm just going to look right at my audience and just say, you know, the last thing I want to hear from anybody is some lame, half cocked, jacked excuse as to why we can't be the best we can be and why we can't be accountable, you know, for what it is we're supposed to do and who we're supposed to be. So I'm really tough on myself when it comes to, you know, giving my word and, you know, saying what I mean and meaning what I say. And it seems like I'm hard on other people, and maybe I am, but it's not, you know, from a place of malice or, evil and anything like that. It's just, you know, when we can do better, we should do better. And an excuse is just totally unacceptable. So with that being said, I'm gonna just thank you again, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you go.
You're so welcome. Take care.
I will. Why are you breaking up, man? What's that about?
I don't know. I'm right here. I'm holding the phone in my mouth.
Okay. Maybe it was me. But anyway, I love you so much. Thank you for being there. Thank you for just hearing me. I appreciate you. And let's catch up, man. Let's catch up. Listen, let's talk. When can when give me a time right now we can talk, where we can just sit for an hour and just catch up. I need within the next 7 days. When can you and I just chat?
Saturday, 9 o'clock, from 9 to 9.
Okay, so I got you Saturday. So Saturday I will make time. We'll catch up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, kiss my baby for me, okay?
I sure will.
All right, we'll talk.
Okay.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
There you have it, my friends, and thank you again for your loyalty and your friendship, for being there, you know, for me and with me. Again, this is SWIM, SWYM. It's the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am here because I have been just led to just bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear. And it's important that we listen more. And if I could even speak to, you know, the system and or people that have been authorized to have, you know, influence and or power, you know, those people could have listened more. You know, they could have investigated more. They didn't just have to see, you know, another person in the system. You know, we have got to do better. And it starts as individuals. No, I don't have control of the system. And maybe you watching or listening, you may not have control of the system, but you do have control of something. And I would, you know, encourage you to, you know, to start in your own home, your own community, even, you know, in the grocery store when you're there. You know, be nice to people, be considerate, and show some love. Okay? Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Take good care of yourself. Keep your head up. And as my sister just said, it's okay, you know, to cry, because, you know, it's just a normal human thing. And I ain't embarrassed because, you know, I was moved by what I had been seeing, you know, in the movie. And it was just, you know, perfect timing that I would not be busy all day trying to put content together. And I had some other stuff I was working on, but I had a hard drive issue. But to be forced to just stop and, you know, take an early night and, you know, take in a movie, and just so happened it was this one. But anyway, have a great rest of the week. Take good care of yourself. Find somebody you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, but show it and mean it. Now, let's see. How do I get out of here? Oh, man. Let's see if I hit this button. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to end. Yeah. Oh, and my battery's low at that. Good night. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the book too. The book is coming along really good. It's starting to get a little scary because now I'm looking at some of the stuff that I was writing that was, you know, at intense time. But scary is good, I guess. Anyway, good night. Love you.